My hair is so big now. It's getting bigger than my owned TBR. And that's why my hair is so big. It's full of unread books. Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to Gavin Reads It All. I want to go through my end of year TBR as well as looking forward to the first couple of months of 2026. I feel like I've drooled, because I want to go through all of my winter reading and video plans, which will take me through December, January, and February. It is a little bit trickier getting towards February because I haven't quite mapped out the start of 2026 as much as I usually like to. Things are still up in the air. Things are going to probably go with the flow as I get closer and closer to the new year. But I do love planning so much. I love having things to look forward to. And I'm just so excited to get through the winter this year. And everything that I'm going to read should hopefully keep me warm this winter, 100%. And I might as well actually let you know what I'm reading at the end of November as well, because I still have, some time left in the month. It is halfway through November as I film this, and I do have some exciting things to talk about. So let's crack on with it. Pour yourself your favorite drink, get yourself all nice and cozy, and let's jump into my winter TBR. So firstly, I'm in the middle of filming the very next Emboss or Toss. I have only 2 more books to read for it, and then I'm done. It has been an absolute blast because the theme for this Emboss or Toss was anticipated sequels, and I have nearly finished all of these books as of filming this. There is only one book here that I need to read, and then Brimstone by Callie Hart does come out in 3-4 days, and I am so excited because that will be the last book that I read for the video. It is an anticipated sequel of mine. I loved Quicksilver, which is the first book in the series that I read last year. I read it for the Goodreads Romantasy Choice Awards video, and that video ended up having some new favourites and some that I was really excited to continue reading more books in that series. So I probably won't tell you too much about what these books are about, especially considering they are sequels, but one of them is Brigands and Bread Knives by Travis Baldree. I did recently finish this one. This was the most recent finish for the video, and I don't want to say exactly what I thought of these either. I want you to anticipate the anticipated sequels video, but yeah, I just finished this one yesterday. The one that I need to read still is Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. The first book is Phantasma, which again I did read for the Goodreads Choice Awards last year. And I think once I finished wrapping up this video, I will dive straight into this. And then the book that I literally made Emboss or Toss anticipated sequels because of is For the Strength of the Few by James Islington. I finished this a few days ago. Again, my lips are sealed. My lips are sealed, but The Will of the Many is the first book, and it was one of my favourite books of 2024, so I had to get to this ASAP. Like, literally as soon as I could. And then, yeah, I made Emboss or Toss Episode 8 anticipated sequels because of this book. As well as the next book as well, actually. The Fate of the Feral Gods by Matt Dinnerman. I also read for the book. This is the 4th book in the Dungeon Crawler Call series. And it's a series that I have absolutely been loving so much. And yeah, 4th book. Nothing else to say about that one. And We Love You Bunny by Mona Reward. This was the book that I was the most scared of because the first book, Bunny, was so good and I didn't think it needed a sequel, but here we are, we have a sequel, and it does sort of act as a prequel as well, but yeah, that's all I'll say about it too. And the final book in the Emboss or Toss video is A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett. I read The Tainted Cup last year and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was maybe a little bit overhyped, but I still enjoyed it, so I was still anticipating the sequel. And I've had this on my shelf for a few months, and I love being able to tackle some of the books on my shelves that have been on there for a little while. So yes, those are the books plus Brimstone, which I'm still waiting for and cannot freaking wait to read. I was about to pick up the candle there to drink, and no. And then the next video is my Goodreads Choice Awards video. I do pick one genre to read, and I do want to try and hit like as many genres as I can over the next few years, and I did Romantasy last year. And the way that I picked the genre this year was that I tallied up all the books in the long list that I was the most excited for in each genre, and whichever genre had the most books that I wanted to read was the genre that I would end up reading. And there was a clear winner, and I wonder if you can possibly guess what genre it will be. But yeah, I do have the TBR, but I don't really want to show it in this video. I kind of want to I don't think it's going to be that much of a surprise when I unveil the video at the start of December. But yeah, I'll be working on the Goodreads Choice Awards TBR as soon as my Emboss or Toss video is done. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm also working on my November Library Challenge pick as well. So I am filming my October, November and December Library Challenge. It is going to be the last video of 2025 of like the Library Challenge. I've done 3 episodes prior. So if you want to check any of those out, I will have them linked down below. But I have essentially been asking a friend every single month to give me a challenge, a prompt, and I now have all of the October, November and December. I finished my October prompt and I'm currently working on the November one, and then I will be able to see what the December one is when I finish the November one. And I'm a little bit scared, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit scared of it, but also very excited for it too. So that is also something that I'm doing in the background. You know, I do like to have these videos that kind of run over a few months, and I can just like dip into it every now and then. And it's going to make posting it in December so much easier because I have finished October and I am in the middle of November. So when December rolls around, I'll only really have like half of the video to do. So it's going to be great. It's going to be fabulous. But obviously, no spoilers for that one. Okay, next is a one that I think I will film towards the end of November, but the video probably won't come out until the start of December, or maybe it might come out the end of November. I don't know. I'm not as rigid with what I'm posting when as I used to be. Some of this is quite flexible, but I do want to do another 24-hour readathon. I did one earlier this year, loved it. And then I did another one for Vlogs of Halloween, loved it, the Halloween edition. So I kind of want to do a festive version of it, and I picked out 4 festive books I have on my shelves that I'm really excited to read. One of them is Everyone This Christmas Has a Secret by Benjamin Stevenson. I have been wanting to read this one since it came out, I think last year or the year before. I loved Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. It is part of the Ernest Cunningham series, and I can't even say his name. In Ernest Cunningham, in the first book, you know, he's a writer and he ends up, you know, being the narrator to a kind of Knives Out meets Agatha Christie story, whodunit, where, you know, there's death and we have to try and figure it out. And it does involve his family. Very excited for this one. And also there's a new one about a bank that's coming out early next year, so it'll be nice to have the entire series caught up with when I get to that one. Might have to do another anticipated sequels video. I also have The Christmas Secret by Peter Swanson, and again, I've had this one for a couple of years as well and just haven't quite fitted into vlogs, but if I do this festive 24-hour readathon, then it should be no problem. But I have been hit or miss with Peter Swanson, but fortunately the last couple that I've read I've actually enjoyed, so to have a kind of Christmassy thriller novella as well, these two are quite short, so read them in a 24-hour readathon would be perfect. But yeah, I think I will also enjoy that one. Thriller, great. I've had Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey on my shelves for, I want to say, like 5 years. And this one is a very petite book as well, you know, Christmas romance. I believe it's set in Manhattan, but don't really know too much after that. Honestly, I'm sorry. I'm probably being so terrible at explaining any of these books in this video, but it would be nice to read something in that video that I've had for a long time, and I feel like I'm hitting a lot of the right beats with that. But one of the newest ones, and one that I would love to absolutely read, is Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. This is making the rounds on BookTube at the minute, and a lot of my friends do love this author, and this author can do no wrong, according to them. So I'm a little bit scared, but also very excited to give it a go, especially when it's a beloved author as well and people actually love this author. I'm like, crap, what if I'm the odd one out? What if I'm not like other girls? This one follows a guy who is a ghost and he does haunt bad people, but this year I think he's assigned to haunt this antique shop owner, and she is a good person, but she's a huge people pleaser. So I think it probably makes her have some like really tough, you know, awkward interactions with people, which honestly I can totally relate to. And they have no idea why they've kind of been paired together, but I don't know, like, it sounds, I mean, it looks romantic. It looks romantic, so I'm like, does she get with a ghost? Does she get with a ghost? So yeah, I definitely want to read this one, and I think doing it for the 24-hour would be perfect. Maybe that's a bad sign. Maybe that's have I been assigned a spirit? Have I been high? Right, a video that I said, and honestly, come 2026, I am going to be limiting how many series I do. I am obviously obsessed with like American television shows, and I used to love following them. So I love having BookTube series. I love that so much. But at the same time, at the same time, it is a lot. So I'm going to try and cut down in 2026, but I do still really want to, you know, tackle my Stephen King series, my Gavin Reads All the King. And the next lot of books I have been pushing off, and I might have to push off again to potentially the end of December or the start of January. But either way, these books will definitely be getting read in this time frame. So the next Gavin Reads All the King video is going to cover the Dark Half, which is about, I think it's kind of like a little bit Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Yeah, we have an author who has a secret identity, which is almost very reminiscent of Stephen King having Richard Bachman as his alter ego, his, you know, secret pen name. And yeah, I think this might be a little Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. I think there might be some kind of supernatural twist to it as well. Now, Needful Things is the reason why I think I'm going to have to push this back a little bit, because this is almost 1,000 pages long. And I don't know why I can't just like have a Stephen King episode where all the books are just like between 300 and 400 pages. But anyway, this sounds fantastic as well. It is about I think like a sort of pawn shop or antique shop where, you know, people can come and buy things that they want, but there is a price to be paid, not just a cash price, but something else as well. And honestly, the amount of times I've heard people say like it's fantastic, and it's one of those Stephen King books I think is probably underrated. It's just, oh, so brilliant. So I'm excited to read it. It's just so long. I cannot really fit it in before Christmas. And then Gerald's Game, this will be a reread. I love the film. And this one is about a woman who gets, you know, handcuffed to a bed by her husband, but then her husband has a heart attack and dies. And now she is trapped on this bed. And it's, yeah, I have read this before and I did really enjoy it, but it has been years and years and years since I read it. So I can't wait for a reread of it for my series. And then finally, Dolores Claiborne is another reread as well. This one, from what I remember, is just all Dolores Claiborne talking. I believe she's just relaying a story. And yeah, like, I've never seen the film. I believe Kathy Bates plays Dolores Claiborne, potentially. Yeah, there's one called Vera. She's found dead at the bottom of the stairs, and the police bring her maid, Dolores Claiborne, to the station, and Dolores Claiborne tells the story. And yeah, apparently it takes, what, like 300 pages? Yeah, ooh, I mean, 209, no, 301, 303, 304 pages. That's really short. That's lovely. And from what I remember, I enjoyed it. But again, my memory is a little bit hazy. So hopefully I can get to that during this period as well. I have the second Death of Locke by V.L. Bovalino to read during this period as well. This is my November Patreon book club pick. So it's definitely going to get read. We have a live show for this early December. I haven't quite set the date yet, but you know, we'll work it out. So we follow Gray Flynn. I believe she's a warrior, and she has always been able to like protect her mage called Kia. And then Gray and Kia are pulled into this quest to protect a child from a rival kingdom. And I believe it like pushes them to their limits. I think there's a little bit of adventuring going on. It sounds fantastic, and I've heard good things about it. So yeah, this is my Patreon book club pick, so it's definitely going to get read. At the start of December, and I am so excited. I'm so excited because it'll be the very last. Okay, let me just talk F1 for just a second. I know I'm getting boring, and you hate it when I talk about the F1. I have been loving Formula One this year. I have become such a huge fan of it, and it's been painful, but it's also been a ride. And because of that, I really do want to read F1 romances in the first week of December before the grand finale of this season of the Formula One Championship. And I am so excited to read these books. You have no idea. So the first one is Crash Test by Amy James. I know people have given this like 5 stars. They love this. It's gay. It is gay. And I just know I'm going to fan cast myself in this. Me and Charlotte Cloe. Like in probably all of the books that I'm going to read for this video. And I'm just so excited for Formula One romance. I have never done Formula One romance before. And we have Travis, who is a Formula One driver. I think fall in love with a Formula 2 driver. I don't know if there's like a little bit of like forbidden romance there or anything. Oh, but oh god, oh god, I can't wait. And I also have Pole Position by Rebecca J. Caffrey. This was actually recommended to me by a air steward on a flight to New York. He recommended this to me. He was saying it's like very steamy, it's very, very gay. I think he was flirting, and I wish I had given him my number. I really do, but alas. Another Formula One, we have the Golden Boy of Motorsport, 4-time championship winner, and then we enter Harper James, this year's rookie. Oh god, I kind of love that, you know, like a bit of a seasoned pro with a rookie. Oh, and then I do have to add a little bit of diversity to this very gay, you know, Formula One romance reading blog and add a heterosexual pairing to the mix. We have Lights Out here by Kayla James. I think this might be Charlotte Cloe fanfiction, potentially. And obviously Charlotte Cloe is my favourite. So I'm just going to pretend that I'm her, okay? And this is Charlotte. It does kind of look like him. It does kind of look like him. The Grid series book 1. I might continue if I enjoy this. But yeah, we have Blake, who becomes a Formula One driver, which is amazing, honestly. Has a woman ever been a Formula One driver? I don't think they have, actually. So she may actually be is she like the first Formula One female driver? Anyway, she ends up joining Formula One, and the person who made her want to do Formula One in the first place becomes her teammate. So that could be pretty good. So those are the 3 books that I want to tackle for the Formula One romance reading vlog. Not too strenuous, you know, only 3 books. Usually I'm cramming like 5, 6, 7, 8. By steps. But no, I think doing 3 Formula One romances the week of the Formula One grand finale. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Unless, you know, Ferrari have a terrible, terrible weekend, which I wouldn't be surprised at this point. I also want to do a festive sneak across my bookshelves in December, which honestly, I cannot predict how that's going to go at all. I do not have Christmas books on every shelf, so the amazing Jackie, who is one of my patrons, did, you know, kind of suggest, or maybe you can do some Christmas colours, you know, a Christmas colour on that shelf and read that, because yeah, I'm definitely not reading all Christmas books. And so I'm going to limit it down to 5 colours, because I feel like I could relate any colour to Christmas. So I'm going to pick 5 colours, which I'll not tell you about now, but I'll pick 5 colours that remind me of Christmas, or that's very Christmas coded. And feel free to leave your suggestions down below as well, and play Staying Across My Bookshelves, which is going to be so fun because I now have 5 shelves of play, and yeah, it could go so wrong. I have the power-ups again, but I have like Christmas themed power-ups. I've already thought of it all. It's going to be so much fun. But that could either go for like 2 days, or it could go for 2 weeks. I have no idea. I have no control over it. So I'm just excited to see how that turns out, honestly. The December Patreon book club pick is going to be Snow and Rose by Emily Winfield Martin. This is a middle grade book, and it looks so beautiful. I've had it on my shelves again for so long. I've heard fantastic things about it from, you know, a lot of people who I used to watch a lot of. Oh my god, just look at the illustrations. The illustrations are stunning. But this is the story of 2 sisters, but they are so different to one another. It's like night and day, and they have always lived in the woods, or so we are told. And I think it's just like a very lyrical, fairy tale-esque kind of story. It's a reimagining of Snow White and Rose Red, which I've actually never read. I don't think I've ever read or even really know the story of Snow White and Rose Red. So this will probably be my introduction to that story. But it looks so cute and it's so beautiful. So it's nice to get that one done for my book club in December. Nice and short, so it's not too much pressure. And then the live show for this will be at the very start of January. So you have time to join as well if you want to join on my Patreon. I do have a link down below. We're doing so many Christmas films in December as well. And we have like, well, actually we have one today. We're doing A Merry Little Xmas today as I'm filming this. It'll already have happened by the time this vlog goes up. But yeah, love doing Christmas movies around November, December. Reading sprints, book clubs, the whole bibbidi bobbidi bang. And you know what? This is going to be hilarious because I did do my 25 books to read in 2025 earlier this year, and I haven't looked at it because I want to do a reaction at the start of 2026 and do a vlog again where I tackle the books that I was supposed to read in 2025. So I did that at the start of this year. I looked at my 24 books to read in 2024 and I built a TBR off that and read that in the first couple of weeks in January this year. So I really want to do that again this year before I do my 26 books to read in 2026, or maybe just after. But there is definitely one book in my 25 books to read in 2025 which has become a little bit of a running joke on my channel, especially in the comments, and I freaking love it. I actually love it. Part of me wants to put this off for as long as possible just so I can keep getting those comments like, hey Gav, don't you have this to do by the end of the year? You know what really makes me scared this vlogs of Halloween is knowing that you still have this book on your TBR. It's been so funny. But I am going to challenge myself, and I've already got everything in place. I want to have a special guest as well who I'm so excited to talk to. But in the last week, I'm going to try and do this like between Christmas and New Year and have like some kind of like New Year countdown. Like I need to finish this book before midnight hits on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve to into New Year's Day. Anyway, I am going to tackle Les Miserables by Victor Hugo at the very end of this year. It is going to be the last book I read, so I'm definitely going to be doing my best books of the year before this one, because, I mean, come on, there's no way this is going to make it, right? There's no way. So I'm going to be doing this the last week. I will say, though, I'm saying that a little bit negatively. I'm not going to be negative with this. I am going to tackle this. I have seen the musical movie, and I don't think it's going to be exactly accurate, but at least I'll be able to picture this as I'm reading it, so it won't be as hard. But oh my gosh, the font is so small. But I feel like having that challenge element, spending between Christmas and New Year to read this book and tackle it, I can definitely break it down and make it easy. So this is 908 pages. If I just like divide it by 7 or 8 or however long it takes me to read this book, that's definitely a lot more digestible. But I promise you, right here, right now, I'm going to be vlogging and reading Les Mis in the last week of the year, and I will get you that vlog out at the start of 2026 and actually commit to my 25 books to read 2025. So those comments about, hey, Les Mis, I see it. I might not do Vlogmas. I said on my Instagram story that I might do Vlogmas this year. I'm trying to like loads of different videos in between vlogs and stuff. But when I look at it as a whole, and I'm like, oh, but I just love vlogging so much, I just don't know if I'll be able to. I might still be able to do a surprise vlog or like some surprise videos throughout the month. You know, other than best books of the year, worst books of the year. I might try and do anticipated book releases for 2026 or some of the ideas that you guys had when I did my Instagram story, which was awesome. I also asked my patrons as well. So there are some fantastic ideas. But then I'm like, oh gosh, how am I going to film all this? How am I going to do my vlog still? How am I going to read? How am I going to edit? How am I going to do my CCs? You know, so there's just like a lot going into it. So I may do Vlogmas. I may not. It's there. Okay, January, because this is already like so long. Like we're only getting into January now, and you know, like we're still like in the midst of winter at this point. So as I said before, I do want to do the 25 books to read in 2025 cleanup and react to the video that I did, build a TBR from that and tackle those books. I can't really remember everything I mentioned on there, but I feel like I might have done a pretty decent enough job. If I want to predict right now, I feel like I might have read maybe 10 or 11 books in that video. Potentially, I don't want to look at it because I want to do a proper reaction at the start of the vlog and hopefully be like pleasantly surprised by what I have left, fingers crossed. And there are a couple that I can think of other than Les Mis that I have still, and they are a little bit big, so I'm like, should I try and fit them in into set? I don't think that's possible, but that's one of the videos I want to do at the start of 2026. It feels like it's going to be a tradition now on my channel that I'm going to try and clean up my 25 books to read in 2025, 26 books to read in 2026, and, you know, do that every January just to, you know, I don't know, hold myself accountable, almost threaten myself to read those books throughout the year. So that is one video. There is also Winterween happening in January. I always love taking part. So I don't know if I'll do like a full-on dedicated vlog to Winterween, depending on, you know, what I can do during January, especially if I'm doing my little 25 books to read in 2025 cleanup. But anything that I can fit into Winterween, I absolutely will. But I might still do a cute Winterween vlog, maybe a cheeky little weekend Winterween, because I feel like having more casual, laid back, not part of series videos also really helps me out as well. So keep an eye out for that. I might actually be able to do that. But in January, I should have, and thank you so much, Cam, who has been helping me with my spreadsheet, but I should have a vajazzled book spreadsheet that I have been working on pretty much all year at this point, and Cam has been helping me so much with like adding a randomizer and making it look pretty. So by the time January rolls around, it should all be ready. So in January, I should be able to do another Emboss or Toss with an incredible spreadsheet randomizer. So I will be able to go back to, you know, like in the first few episodes when I would do a random number generator and just pick a really random book off of my shelves and then read it in Emboss or Toss. Well, we're going to go back to like randomizing everything, but in a more fun way and in a more practical way as well. That looks a lot better than what I did at the start of the series. So that's going to be really fun. It'll be nice to go back to like randomizing things for Emboss or Toss, because that was the whole point I started the series in the first place, was so that I can get to the books that I might not have got to because I don't know, maybe they wouldn't fit into other videos and stuff like that. But I have been theming my last few Emboss or Toss videos. So I want to do like a randomizer again in January, start the new year with a new spreadsheet and all that jazz. So hopefully you're excited for that. I also have Reddit Fantasy Bingo episode 3. See, this is the thing with 2026 is I know I'm going to be cutting down on a lot of the series that I do. So once Reddit Fantasy Bingo finishes, I think it's late March or early April, there will be another one for next year. But when I finish this bingo, I don't think I'll be doing an Our Fantasy Bingo series. I will most likely just be reading fantasy throughout the year and just making it fit on the bingo board. I probably have already finished the entire bingo board with all the other fantasies I've read, but for some reason my brain is like, this will not count for Our Fantasy Bingo because you need to do a separate video for this. And I'm just like, I need to get out of that mindset and just do just do normal videos. So I don't think I'll be doing our fantasy bingo after, you know, the 2025 season has finished. But I still need to do episode 3, 4, and 5 by the end of March, essentially. So, you know, that's going to be fun. And I do, again, want to focus on the books I already own. So I have 4 of the 5 books I need to do for the next Our Fantasy Bingo video. These might change by then as well, because, you know, January/February is when I'll get to it. And yeah, these might change, but it would be fine if that's okay. There were prompts. One of them is a parent protagonist, but I haven't quite figured out what I want to read for that one yet. And then we have Epistory. So I want to try and read A Letter to the Luminous Deep by Sylvie Cathrall. This has been on my shelves for at least a year or two. Came from Fairy Loot. This really is filled with letters, and I think it is filled with a discovery that they make at the bottom of the ocean, like the main characters make at the bottom of the ocean. I think it might be fantasy, so I don't know these characters. You know, I don't even want to theorize because I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to spread misinformation. But it does say it's a charming fantasy set in an underwater world. So I was thinking like mermaids, maybe, potentially. It doesn't really say in the summary, but yes, I'm definitely going to try and tackle my owned TBR, especially in 2026. There is a prompt for Author of Colour, which I want to do Sorrowland by River Solomon for that video. I've had this one again for a couple of years. We follow Vern, who is desperate to escape this like religious thing that they are part of, and they escape into the woods, and I think they go on some kind of horrific journey there. I think this might be classed as like horror/magical realism/fantasy. It says it's a work of gothic fiction, the tangled history of racism, marginalization, and the black body in the most compelling way. So this will definitely be perfect for the Author of Colour prompt for Our Fantasy Bingo. We also have a book published in 2025, and I'm finally going to get to The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. I said I wanted to read this one months and months and months ago, but then I got into a slump, and I didn't really want to force myself, because this was going to be in Bossa Toss episode 5, but honestly, that slump almost took me out. But now I feel ready. Well, when February rolls around, I might not feel ready. But when February rolls around, I might be excited to read this one by then. Well, I'm excited to read it now, but I'm hoping I still stay excited to read it by then. There is someone on the throne, and it's time for them to step down, and there are 7 contenders to take over the throne, and this is the first book in the series. I can't remember what the series is called. Maybe it's just called the Raven Scholar series, potentially. But it'll be great. Love the cover. It's going to be fab. And then the other prompt is small publisher or indie published or self-published, and I want to pick The Way of Edan by Philip Chase. I got this one from the Broken Binding earlier this year, and I've been very excited to read it. It's very reminiscent of The Lord of the Rings, I've heard, and Philip Chase does have a YouTube channel, so I'm very excited to give this one a go, especially since I just read Discovery by J.A.J. Minton, and they run a booktube channel as well, and I really enjoyed that book. And I also did a discussion on the Dragonborn chair on Aaron's channel from Booked and Busy back in the summer, and Philip Chase was also part of that live show. So I have kind of done a live show with Philip Chase. There were a lot of people in that live show, so we didn't really have like a one-on-one or anything. But no, excited to give it a go, and I love The Lord of the Rings. It's like one of my favorite stories of all time, so it's gonna be great. So yeah, it's just a parent protagonist prompt that I'm struggling with for that one. I probably do have something on my shelves that will fit that, but I haven't quite looked it out yet. But I'm very excited for episode 3, and then obviously episode 4 and 5 will come right after. Oh, another thing that's happening in January that I almost forgot to talk about was that for my Patreon, we are doing another Christie Crime Solve-Along, and we are doing Cards on the Table by Agatha Christie. That is going to be the next Solve-Along that we do. Again, I might try and do an Agatha Christie video, but like put a few in there rather than just do one whole video dedicated to one book, because I stopped enjoying making those videos. But I think if I did like 4 Agatha Christie books in one video, like I did the very first time I read Agatha Christie, then maybe that would help me feel reinvigorated to do a video on Agatha Christie again. And Cards on the Table might be a really fun one to try and solve in a video as well. So that's going to be the next solve along with Patreon. So we'll be doing that in January, live show, most likely the start of February. I don't own it right now, but I'm trying to find an edition that matches my other editions. And it's actually proving a little bit harder than I thought. But that looks really, really good. I can't wait. And then in February, Paulathon by Jade, my love Jade from JD Ray Reads. She will most likely be having another round of it in February. I believe she's also like going to a different country like she did last Paulathon, and I accompanied her last year to Iceland, and it was so much fun. It was like the best. So there will most likely be another Paulathon round this year, so I would love to try and partake. Again, I might not be able to do a fully dedicated vlog to it, but I do want to like get some reads in there as well. Maybe tie it into another Sneak Across My Bookshelves potentially, like in Kill Two Birds with One Stone, because I would like to do another to stay across my bookshelves in February. In 2026, I want to, you know, cut down on series, but my main series, like Emboss or Toss and Stay Across My Bookshelves, I want to do them interchangeably. So I want to do like Emboss or Toss in January, March, May, July, so on and so forth. And then do Stay Across My Bookshelves in the alternating months between those. So I'll be doing Stay Across My Bookshelves in February, April, June, August, and so on. So I feel like that would like really help me as well with like the amount of series that I end up doing. I also might take a year off doing the library challenge in 2026. I do want to like do maybe a little bit of retooling, maybe try and come up with some new ideas for it and like maybe spruce it up a little bit, because yeah, I've done it for like 2 years running now, and I do just want to like see if there's like any ideas that I might have to make it a little bit more lively again. And like, I mean, I'm loving it this year, like, don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely loving it this year, but I know like doing another year of it might get a little bit like repetitive, so I don't want to like see if I can like do some little changes to it next year and then come back swinging with the library challenge in 2027 potentially. But we'll see how January goes, and if I'm like, you know what, actually I really do want to just do the library challenge this year, then I'll do it. But yeah, I'm trying to cut down a little bit on all the series that I'm doing. What else? Oh, speaking of series, I do still want to continue doing the Discworld series, and it's not going to be as hard because the Discworld books are not really that long compared to like Stephen King. So I'm going to be doing Gavin Reads All the King and Gavin Reads All the Discworld still, but I'm going to be a lot more chill with them. I'm probably not going to try and do them like every other month like I'm doing Emboss or Toss and Stay Across My Bookshelves, but they will still be coming eventually. So the next Discworld episode I need to do will be covering these 4 books. So we have Sorcery, Weird Sisters, Pyramids, and God's Gods. Very excited for these because I've heard fantastic things about God's Gods. Like, you have no idea. Like, the amount of people who wrote on episode 1, God's Gods is my favourite Discworld book. And I'm like, well, damn, I cannot wait to get to that. Also, Weird Sisters as well. This one has been mentioned so many times as people's favourite. So there's going to be some like really favourite ones. And I really enjoyed the first 4 Discworld books by Terry Pratchett. I thought they were great. So very excited to continue on. And I know it sounds like I'm doing a lot. I know. Sounds like I'm doing a lot right now. But I do want to reiterate, this is like covering November, December, January, and February. There's like 4 months. 4 months of stuff, and this is my full-time job, so I can read all these, I promise. I will definitely get these done and enjoy myself. Also help me. Oh, I also want to do another 24-hour readathon romance edition in February as well. So like just get a whole bunch of romance books that have been on my shelves and read for 24 hours. I think that'll be really fun. Anything else? Reddit Fantasy episode 4, potentially in February, or push that into March. Yeah, I think that might be it. I mean, it's probably definitely not it, but probably everything that I want to talk about in this video, things to look forward to over the next few months on Gavin Reads It All. So hopefully that gets you excited for what's to come. Hopefully some of the books I mentioned are going to be like really fun for you to listen to me review. There will probably be some surprise videos in the next few months as well. You know, things that, you know, sometimes come to me on the fly. Like sometimes I might think of something that I'm really excited to do, so I'll just like go ahead and do it. I did that a few times in 2025. There was like, you know, I've read nothing on the shelf. Let's read some books on the shelf. So, you know, we get from the 0% and get the bookshelf read a bit more. And speaking of like, you know, bookshelves and the percentages of them, I do really want to do an updated library tour video, considering I've been really changing my home library over the past few months. And I do still want to like do some decorating, and I do want to like try and jazz it up a little bit before I do that video. But what I might do is kill 2 birds with 1 stone, because I need to do an updated shelf by shelf audit. So I might do a home library tour in January, but combine it with the shelf by shelf audit. So when I do the tour, it will be going literally shelf by shelf and telling you what I've read and haven't read on each shelf, give you the percentages, and then maybe by the end of 2026, we can revisit these shelves, because I really do doubt, I don't want to jinx it, but I really do doubt these shelves will be changing that much. I don't think I'll be like moving these over that side and like moving the classics over here and the middle grade over there. I feel like this is probably it in terms of organization. So I feel like starting 2026 with, hey, this is my home library, these are the books I need to read, these are the percentages on each shelves, let's come back to this at the end of the year and see how we got on, you know? I feel like that could be pretty fun. But yeah, there's still definitely room for growth. There's still definitely room for me to be able to do other things and surprise vlogs if they come about. I'm very, very excited about the next few months on Gavin Reads It All, and also Gavin Reads All the manga as well. I do want to try and get back to reading some more manga for my manga channel. I have been so bad at keeping up to date with it, but I am hoping to just like, you know, have a little bit of manga reading every now and then as well, to keep breaking up the denser novels. And I think my gingerbread homemade latte is like cold now. Oh, it's got like the slightest hint of heat. Story of my life. So that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave all your comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know if there's any of the books I mentioned in this video that you're super excited for me to read. Any vlogs that I mentioned you might be excited for as well. And then tell me everything down in the comments so I can chat to you about it. I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons for supporting my channel. If you'd like to join my Patreon, then the link is in the description box. But yeah, I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye.